So welcome back. This is going to be video or program 2 in the sketchbook series, the Bockingford Sketchpad series. So if you remember, we had a review of this sketchpad and then completed this painting number 1 on the sketchpad. I'm going to go on and have a go at a second painting. So let's get all of that out of the way. Then we're going to need to tape up all of these edges. So here's a quick sketch of the of my photograph that I took probably about 3 years ago now, in Evian in France, on the next to the lake there. One thing I always do, I just want to point this out. If I'm doing the sea, I always pop in a straight horizon. It just, that's what happens out there in reality, and it just makes it a little bit easier. I don't use a ruler very often. So this is the sort of quick sketch. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about, and I don't rub out very often, but I want to see what this Bockingford paper is capable of. Seems to be holding up pretty well. Is I just want to pop in, there's a boat on this left hand side. There was a couple of masts kind of going straight up, and then there was a couple of strange angle ones kind of. I might just take them off the page, but I'd got the angles wrong on them, so I just want to change them slightly. These actually are quite thin in reality. There's also a flag there. There's a bit of a flag there, and there are some more sort of masts popping up here with a bit of rigging coming down, but I'm just going to keep that all quite light. The sea is out there. This is the harbour. Here's some rocks in the foreground. We've got part of this jetty here, and these are quite thick, so I'm just going to thicken these up. And then there's a walk way out with the railings, and I'll pop the figure in there. There's a light here, which I'm going to just bring down a touch. Let's take that shadow out because it doesn't relate to anything now. Just a couple of directional lines. This is the edge of the curbing. The figure there leaning against, looking out into the harbour. And then off here, very faint, but there are some distant mountains coming in there, and there's a tree here, but that might be a bit confusing, so I don't know, I might leave that out. I think the two together kind of clash a little bit, so we might just take this tree out and just leave this light in. You see these lights, typical of France, everywhere you go really. They just seem to be everywhere. So I'll just tidy that up. I might just use a ruler again just to straighten that off because it seems to be at a strange angle. Just keep that straight. I know we want it sketched. I'm not a fan of rulers, but I am using them here just to keep this that edge straight. The thing to do is to make sure that all shapes join a bit, so you've kind of got things interlinked. Right, ready for painting. Let's get straight to it. So we'll start off with the sky. Just need to get rid of some of this old mixture in here. It's a kind of blue sky that we've got. So we'll just take that out. Remember, I'm just putting in a quick sketch. We're going to go for some cerulean and a touch of ultramarine. And we'll just come in really quite fast in here and just work down, and that's it. Just leave that. I've got the sea there, but I'm not going to put that in yet. Also got these reflected colours as well, but we'll just pop in just a hint of sparkle on here. Keep it nice and light to start with, and then we'll build that up as we go along. Here is quite grey, so just mix up a tiny grey mixture here with the 3 primaries. We've got our burnt umber, touch of yellow ochre, and that blue mixture that was already there. Let's just see how that works out. So at the moment everything's quite grey, isn't it? But that's okay for the moment. Let's just keep that like that. And then, sorry, I'm bobbing down to look at this source picture that I've got on my laptop. The rocks here are kind of like a various sort of browns and greys, so we'll just pop in a suggestion of some. There's quite a lot of shadows. We'll keep this quite loose, and then we'll pop in some shadows in there as well. That'll do. Just keep a bit of an edge on that. There we go. We'll come back to this in a little while and just firm that up a bit. So we're going on with a quick sketch. This is in here with some neutral tint. Just popped in this burnt umber with it. I'm just going to indicate some of these wooden struts coming out, form part of the jetty. Keep them quite loose. I think there was one more here. Yep, there we go. There's always part of a beam coming in here as well. That was quite thick. That'll do it. I'll go for a finer brush now and just pop in some of this sort of grey mixture. Some of these. The jetty part on there, or this little walkway. Again, we're simplifying, keeping it really simple. While we're here, just pop in the head of this character, so we don't lose sight of the character. This goes all the way across to the path. And we'll say that she's actually on there. There's also another pole coming up there. Let's pop in with a bigger brush, use this number 12. To pop in this lamp post. Is this dry? Kind of. It's blurring and bleeding at the bottom, I don't mind that. And then we'll will go in. That has dried, so I'm not going to go back into the sky again. We can come back in with this number 2, a Skoda brush, same kind of dark mixture. I'll just have to be careful we don't put our hands on that. I'll do there. Oops, let's just take that out when we got a chance. There we go. That's bleeding in there, it's okay, I don't mind that. This foreground one was higher. Now looking a bit closer and much darker. Can kind of sculpt these around these rocks a little bit. I just need to change the shape of this because I don't like the fact that they're all the same height. Looks a bit odd. It's coming a bit darker there. It's drying quite fast. I'm just gonna hint in now this is dry. Let's see. Just in here. That's blended in. That's not what I planned, but it actually looks quite nice, doesn't it? And then obviously this is the jetty, and beyond there, there's a kind of a brick wall in here. Let's just kind of go around those boats a bit. Obviously this sea doesn't quite go around here, but that's quite nice because here it arches round. We've got all the rocks that come all the way around there, so we can make use of that in a little while. I'm going to leave that, and that's gone up above the horizon. It's quite annoying. Should have been a bit more careful. Let's see if we can just level that off a bit. That's better. Just touch more blue. There we go. And then obviously here we need to strengthen up some of the values of this of the sea down here, just so it's nice and still. Quite a bit of movement in this. Even more at the front here. But we'll wait for this to dry in places. We're just dotting some suggestions of movement. And that'll do for the moment. We'll come back when this is all dry and carry on.